All right, the Truman Doctrine, important side of the Cold War, kind of going to influence and explain why the Americans do what they do and why they view the Soviets as a threat. Now, the Truman Doctrine simply states that the United States is going to get involved and support any country that is threatened by either Soviet regimes or communism. So there's a country that is in danger of falling to communism, the United States of America is going to stand up and defend that country from becoming communist. Now, this is outlined by President Roosevelt in his joint address to Congress, both the House and the Senate. And his quote is stated, "It must be the policy of the United States to support free people who are resisting attempted subjugation by armed minorities or by outside pressures." Pretty much, if there's an armed minority in a country that's trying to force it to become Soviet or become communist, the United States is going to support the other people who don't want to become communist. If outside pressures, primarily the Soviet Union, who he's referring to here, is trying to support a country to become communist, he is going to stand up and the United States is going to defend them and keep them from becoming communist. The goal here is containment. Contain the Soviet Union. Do not let them advance. That is dangerous. This is going to lead to the United States interfering in a number of foreign affairs from this point forward. When something is going to threaten the American interest, they are going to get involved and do what they can to protect their interest abroad. This is going to bring us then into the Marshall Plan. Now, the Marshall Plan is a plan designed by the Secretary of State, George Marshall, Truman's Secretary of State. And the entire act is put right here. Just be able to kind of summarize and understand what it means. But the act is an act to promote world peace and the general welfare, national interest, and foreign policy of the United States through economic, financial, and other measures necessary to the maintenance of conditions abroad in which free institutions may survive and consistent with the maintenance of the strength and stability of the United States. To put that in kind of a simpler term, this is an act, a plan basically to promote world peace and general welfare, to make life better for everyone, protect the national interests of these individual countries, and to protect the foreign policy of the United States. So this is saying why the U.S. is wanting to do this plan and how they're going to do it through economic, financial, and other measures. Economic and financial, providing economic support to these countries, helping them establish a strong capitalist economy, giving them money if they need it. And other measures simply put in there kind of as a coverall. So if we have to send the military in, we're going to send the military in. If it's simply as simple as giving people Coca-Cola and making them become addicted to Coca-Cola so they want this capitalism, we can do that. And that's kind of what's going to be happening as well. Other necessary measures used to maintain the conditions abroad in which free institutions may survive. This is pretty much saying we don't want communism at all. We're going to do whatever we need to stop this communism, maintaining the strength and stability of the United States. This is going to receive bipartisan support. Okay, so Republicans control Congress at this time period. The Democrats, two different political parties, are going to control the presidency. They need to have this bipartisan support if anything wants to happen. The United States is going to stand strong together and implement the Marshall Plan. Basically, putting it in simple terms, is the United States is going to give money to these countries in Europe that have been destroyed by World War II and hope they support the U.S. and not the USSR. It's really hard to tell someone no when they've simply given you a ton of money to help rebuild your country. The goal is here is the United States is going to spend some money on other countries, but this is going to help the interest of the Americans in the long term. That is all for now. Comment questions down below. Otherwise, good luck.